Ferrari makes roughly the same number of cars in an entire year that Toyota makes before lunch. And Ferrari wants it that way. There are people standing in line, cash in hand, begging to buy a car, and Ferrari is telling them no. On paper, this looks insane. Every business textbook says sell more, grow more, capture the demand. Ferrari does the opposite on purpose. And it's precisely that refusal that makes Ferrari one of the most profitable car companies on the planet, per car, by a margin that's almost embarrassing. Let's start with the numbers, because they're hard to believe. A giant car maker might earn a few $100s of profit on an ordinary family car, and they're thrilled to get it because they sell millions. Ferrari earns something closer to $100,000 of profit on a single car. That's not a typo. One Ferrari can out-earn dozens, sometimes hundreds of normal cars. So if each car is that profitable, the obvious move is to build more of them. Double the factory, triple it, print money. And that is exactly the trap that would destroy the company. Because Ferrari isn't selling cars. It's selling scarcity. And scarcity is the one product that gets cheaper the more of it you make. Here's the rule the whole business runs on. The boss of Ferrari once said the company will always deliver one car fewer than the market demands. Read that again. Not as many as people want, deliberately one short. Forever. If 100 people want a car, build 99. Leave someone standing at the door wanting. Most companies are terrified of unmet demand. Ferrari manufactures it on purpose. Because the moment everyone who wants a Ferrari can have one, a Ferrari stops being a Ferrari. It becomes just a fast, expensive car. And the world is full of fast, expensive cars. Think about what you're actually buying when you buy one. It is not really the engine. You can get blistering speed from a dozen brands for far less money. What you're buying is the fact that almost no one else can have it. The rarity is the feature. The waiting list is the feature. Being told no, and then finally being told yes, is the feature. Ferrari isn't competing with other cars. It's competing with yachts, with rare art, with a very short list of things rich people buy to signal that they are on a different list than you. And the entire value of that signal depends on it staying rare. This is what most people get exactly backwards about luxury. They think the high price is the point. It isn't. The scarcity is the point. The price is just the scarcity made visible. If Ferrari flooded the market and cut the price to chase volume, it wouldn't just earn less per car. It would poison the whole brand. Every existing owner would feel the value of their car, and their status drain away. The waiting list would evaporate. The magic would die. The most expensive mistake Ferrari could possibly make is the one every other company is desperate to make, selling more. And there's a second layer here that's pure genius. Because demand always outruns supply, Ferrari gets to choose its customers, not the other way around. Want one of the truly rare models? You don't just need the money. You need history. You need to have bought the ordinary Ferraris first, treated them right, not flipped them for a quick profit. Ferrari has, on occasion, refused to sell to people it didn't like. Imagine that. A company turning away a buyer waving a check. That only works when you've made the thing scarce enough that the privilege of buying it is itself the reward. Scarcity didn't just raise the price. It flipped the power. The seller holds it, not the buyer. Now here's the part Wall Street figured out. When Ferrari listed on the stock market, investors didn't value it like a car maker. They valued it like a luxury house, like the companies that sell handbags and watches and champagne. Those businesses live by the same law. Protect the scarcity, protect the brand, and never, ever chase volume at the cost of desire. The market looked at Ferrari's tiny output and sky-high margins and said, this isn't a factory, it's a vault. And it priced the stock accordingly, at multiples a normal car maker could only dream of. But let me push on the obvious objection, because it's a fair one. Isn't this fragile? Isn't a company that refuses to grow leaving a fortune on the table? Here's the contrarian answer. Restraint is the growth strategy. Ferrari does grow, but slowly, deliberately, raising prices and adding rare special editions rather than flooding showrooms. The discipline not to grow too fast is exactly what lets it grow forever. The real risk isn't building too few cars. The real risk is the day Ferrari gets greedy, builds too many, and discovers that the thing it was selling all along, the wanting, can't be manufactured back once it's gone. So here's the lesson, and it reaches way past sport cars. In most of business, The goal is to serve every customer you can. But for a rare kind of company, the entire value lives in who they turn away. Exclusivity isn't a side effect of being expensive. It's the product itself. The waiting list isn't a problem to solve. It's the asset on the balance sheet. And the hardest discipline in business isn't learning how to sell more. It's having the nerve, when the whole world is shouting, "Take my money," to look at it and say no. Not everyone gets one. That's the whole point. If you want a next breakdown, subscribe. One new company every few days. Next time, another business that broke the rules everyone else swears by and got rich doing it.